Original, creative, and unique. The stories we love and ones you will too. Hop along the information highway and get ready to see what all the buzz is about. Check out this week's selection of the Fab Five.
Thanks for clicking on the Fab Five. I'm Stacey Delicat, and here's a roundup of the original stories we're covering on Fox 5. What makes a hit song? Is it the artist, the lyrics, the beat, or is it big money? We break down what pop stars pay to produce a smash. Then, how much would you pay to have a table at the hottest restaurants in the city anytime you want? We'll tell you about the app that gets you into the spots everyone is talking about. Talk about inspiration that's out of this world. Call it geek chic, the fashion trend straight out of the iconic Star Wars movies. Plus, dogs striking a pose, how you can get your furry friends into the modeling spotlight. As you'll see, there's an art to it. But first, bringing art and beauty to some of the city's most drab spots. That's the idea behind a program called Portraits of Hope. Take a look at some of the incredible creativity taking place at some local laundromats, all for a good cause.
Inside the Happy Family laundromat in the Bronx, something colorful is going on. And we're not talking about what's inside the
Original, creative, and unique. The stories we love and ones you will too. Hop along the information highway and get ready to see what all the buzz is about. Check out this week's selection of the Fab Five.
Thanks so much for clicking on the Fab Five. I'm Stacey Delicat, and here's a roundup of the original stories we're covering on Fox 5. What makes a hit song? The artist, the lyrics, the beat, or is it big money? We break down what pop stars pay to produce a smash. Then, how much would you pay to have a table at the hottest restaurants in the city anytime you want? We're going to tell you about the app that gets you into the spots everyone is talking about. And talk about inspiration that's out of this world. Call it geek chic, the fashion trend straight out of the iconic Star Wars movies. Plus, dogs striking a pose, how you can get your furry friends into the modeling spotlight. And as you'll see, there's an art to it. But first, bringing art and beauty to some of the city's most drab spots. That's the idea behind a program called Portraits of Hope. Take a look at some of the incredible creativity taking place in some local laundromats, all for a good cause.
Inside the Happy Family laundromat in the Bronx, something colorful is going on. And we're not talking about what's inside the washing machines. The laundromat is being turned into a fantasy land of color and flowers that no one here quite expected.
When I first came in, I was so shocked because it was looking so different than anything you ever see around the block. So it was very beautiful.
We like to take public spaces that people take for granted and transform them.
Bernie Massey is the co-founder of Portraits of Hope, along with his brother Ed. It's a nonprofit project that's been bringing art to unexpected places since 1995, like to the top of taxi cabs and to beach lifeguard stands. But the story behind the art is more than meets the eye.
Portraits of Hope began as a creative therapy program for children in hospitals.
We have special brushes we've developed for children who need to paint with their mouths, let's say, or their feet. We have telescope paint brushes which extend up to 8 feet, so kids sitting in a wheelchair have the opportunity to participate as well.
The program has since expanded to include tens of thousands of school children, including many New York City public school students.
I had a whole different perspective about it when he told me that it was a little 5-year-old or 5th graders that did it, so it was very good.
In all Meanwhile, 6 city laundromats across the Bronx, Harlem, and Washington Heights are getting the royal treatment. Up All Night on Amsterdam Avenue is one of them, and the owner there says the art has gotten people talking, and that's one of the goals.
We thought, wow, what's the potential if we could just take an area where people come and frequent, children and adults, and get the community involved and have a chance to have some discussion, maybe one stranger with another stranger, about the beauty of the new look to the laundromats.
The art's going to stay up for 4 months, so go check it out if you can. Now, just because you have a hit song doesn't mean it cost a whole lot of money to produce. In fact, some of the most popular songs were done on a relatively small budget. Simone Boyce has more on what it actually costs to produce a hit song these days.
What does it cost to make a hit song? Good pipes? Thick skin? What about these?
The amount that we've spent has never had anything to do with whether it was a hit or not.
That's according to Tom Silverman, CEO and founder of Tommy Boy Records. Dollar bills hanging as inspiration in his Flatiron headquarters.
In fact, some of the songs that were the least expensive to produce were the biggest hits.
Like this one.
I think that we spent $800 making the record, and it sold 620,000 12-inch singles.
Or remember this one?
Maybe when we made Jump Around, that single might have cost $7,000, $10,000, something, not more. They wrote it themselves, and they produced it with their regular producer.
Silverman thinks Grammy-winning artist Lorde also invested a relatively small amount into her breakout single, Royals.
And we'll never be royal.
Probably didn't cost that much money, and I may be totally wrong here. I would say around $10,000, maybe even less than that.
But the going price of a hit gets increasingly steep as an artist gains popularity.
Shine bright like a diamond.
An artist like Rihanna sells a lot of albums, has a big fan base, so they can invest $3-4 million making that album because they know they have a good chance of making it back, and they have too much to lose if they don't.
NPR estimates Rihanna's 2011 single, Man Down, cost well over $1 million to produce.
To pay those writers in order to lock those songs down, and that could be anywhere between $20,000 and $50,000 for the big hit in their pocket for the top 10 songwriters. Then there's the producer. If you want to find a superstar producer, it's $30,000 to $100,000.
Not to mention recording facilities and the all-important marketing. But in some ways, digital avenues like Pandora, Spotify, and YouTube are bringing the cost of production down.
You can test your music on SiriusXM, on Pandora, on other places, and then take it to radio, which is more expensive once you know the record is a hit.
Simone Boyce, Fox 5 News.
Getting a reservation at one of the hottest restaurants in the city can be a near impossible task, but now an app promises to get you in the door, but it'll cost you. Kerry Drew finds out how today's Epicure works.
In New York, things change very quickly, and to be able to react on the fly within a week or two to get into the best restaurants in the city is extremely valuable for me from a personal and business perspective.
That's why Peter Taboris uses an app called Today's Epicure.
It gives you access, it gives you a guaranteed reservation, and it avoids a headache to try to secure your own table.
Pascal Raffaut is a former concierge at the St. Regis Hotel. The app he created is essentially a concierge service just for restaurants. So let's say you need a last-minute primetime reservation at a trendy restaurant. Consider it done.
Or you could get Bill's at 7 o'clock, or the Dutch at 7, Gâteau, one of the hottest places right now in town, at 7 o'clock.
We met Pascal at one of his favorite restaurants, Jean-Georges, to find out how he does it. He says he books the reservations in advance under pseudonyms, and then the tables are up for grabs among users.
At most of the restaurants where we have a relationship, so what we do, we offer those reservations to our clients. When the clients grab that reservation, we simply call the restaurants and secure the reservation.
And if for some reason you'd like to try a restaurant that's not available, Pascal will reach out and try to get the reservation for you.
We'll get requests for places like Carbon or Brooklyn Fair or sometimes Sushi Nakazawa.
Membership for the service comes at a price, $1,000 a year. You can also try it for $125 a month. There are currently over 500 users.
You grab it, and that's it. Now it's a reservation for two.
With the membership, reservations are guaranteed.
I can on the spot get a reservation to a highly coveted restaurant within 5 or 6 days, and even a shorter period of time.
As for the food,
Does it get you a great meal? 9 times out of 10, I would say yes. After that, it's not up to me, it's up to the restaurant.
in Midtown, Kerry Drew, Fox 5 News.
Truly an app for everything. Well, since word spread of plans to release Star Wars Episode 7 next summer, there's been a renewed interest in all things Star Wars. Christal Young shows us how Jedi wannabes are proving that geek is chic by wearing their loyalty on their sleeves.
It's been 37 years since Star Wars hit the big screen, and the trilogy is as popular as ever. In the past, if you wanted to show your Star Wars love, you could cruise websites like StarWars.com to find things like funky logo t-shirts. Now the term Star Wars fashion has taken on a whole new meaning.
It's always great when designers work something that's part of pop culture into their collection, and usually it's a little bit more subtle. So something like the Preen collection, where there was like big Darth Vaders on everything, that's a little bit more overt. I think it's really cool.
At the Vans flagship store in Soho, the Vault by Vans for Star Wars collection was a huge hit. The store's manager, Tom Long, says a line started forming the night before the sneakers hit the shelves. By the way, their release was strategically planned for May 4th. May the 4th be with you. Get it?
This is a signature shoe for Steve Caballero. Instead of Steve Caballero on the skateboard, it had Darth Vader and Yoda. You can see them on there, and then you can also see Vader's lightsaber there.
They're cool, just look at them, you know? They're Star Wars, they're Vans, it's like, what more could you possibly want?
Damian Riddick was hoping to snag a pair and was bummed to find out they're sold out. I heard that style is sold out and that people are selling them on eBay for $1,000. Would you pay $1,000 for a cool sneaker?
Of course I would, if I was Donald Trump.
Yoda and high fashion may seem like an unlikely pair, but at Rodarte's runway show in February, the designer's finale included 5 special sci-fi dresses. C-3PO and Luke Skywalker make an appearance on 2 of them. Wacky or wearable? At the recent Met Gala, actress Kirsten Dunst gave fashionistas a lot to talk about when she wore this black Rodarte gown with a Death Star emblazoned on the front. One thing's for sure, if you want to get in on the trend, you've got lots of options. Now, I'll admit, a few years back, I did try the Princess Leia hairdo, but I wound up looking like I had 2 Cinnabons attached to the side of my head. Not good, but a gorgeous dress with Darth Vader on the front, now that I could do. Christal Young, Fox 5 News.
Does your dog have what it takes to be a supermodel? I know mine does, and now some pet owners are getting their furry friends ready for the camera. Fox 5's Joel Waldman shows us how.
When it comes to the catwalk, this cockapoo is king. Maury Ballstein is truly a baller when it comes to dog modeling.
Maury, you know, we try to keep him pretty humble, but he has been in he's been in an Oshkosh B'gosh shoot. He has his own Instagram page where he has a ton of followers. And generally speaking, when there's a photo shoot for dogs, people seem to find him.
Like any doting dad, Brian Siegel can't help but gush about the success of Maury's modeling career. Maury is currently tied in a neck-and-neck horse race for this social media contest to represent this well-known carpet company, Dash & Albert.
And Maury is currently in 2nd place, and we don't have any doubt where he'll end up in the running.
At the tender age of 11 months, Maury's had a lot of success. Has it gone to his head?
Not at all. He's the same puppy he was before. Give him a peanut butter bone and he's good.
Maury, are you confident that you will win this contest? Humble as ever, Maury chewed on the answer for a bit. But not everyone can be a Maury.
It's not all about a pretty face. It's about training. The dog needs to be extremely well trained in order to work in the industry and get paid for it.
Diane Katz, yes, Katz. We don't make up the news here at Fox 5. Well, she's a well-known doggy casting director,
training.
booking sexy, brooding pups like Lucifer for photo shoots. But it takes more than just a magnanimous mug.
They have to be very good in the stay command. Sit, stay, stand, stay, down, stay. And they have to be able to do this with a lot of distractions going on. So if you're practicing with your dog, don't only do it in your house and say, oh, he can do it. You have to practice everywhere.
What's next for Maury? Let's assume he books this gig. What would be next for him?
Well, in a market like New York, the sky is really the limit.
We're talking like GQ, Men's Health. What is the limit?
I'm thinking motion pictures.
My very own Mabel Rose has a face for the movies also, don't you think? She knows how to sit and stay. I just need her to work on chiseling her abs a little. Joel Waldman, Fox 5 News.
Well, that does it for this week's edition of the Fab Five. I'm Stacey Delacat. Thanks for watching.